Sure, thanks for giving us time and have read your book, The Complaint You Had with All Indian Journalists. I have read your book. Before getting into specifics and all the controversies that I do want to ask you about, what comes across is that there are two Shoaib Akhtars out there.
Right.
There's the good guy who goes back to his roots, wants to do the right thing, and there's the other Shoaib Akhtar who gets into trouble all the time. Explain this.
Gets into troubles.
You do get into trouble.
Well, unwanted trouble, which is I never wanted it. And you see, you're bound to get into trouble. You're bound to go through the bad times in life, where as a human, you have to experience a lot of things, which is not required, but you, as an experience, you need to have those. But you see, it is all the learning curves that you go through. It is all the lesson that you need to learn as you grow up. Which, as you say in English, there's a few lessons to be learned, not to be taught. But as I mentioned before, there was no institution as such where I come from. When I was growing up, I was completely find myself on my own on the roads. Whatever the beating I have taken from the world, that was the lessons for me. And I was always wondered that if I go to the Pakistan dressing room, I will find a father figure to guide me to right things. And that father figure was missing in the dressing room, which was Imran Khan.
That actually comes across throughout the book, how you regret not having spent enough time with him in the
Yes.
dressing room. But
Yes.
you know the problem, the reason why I'm asking you this, of course, you have your explanations, you're telling us why things happened the way they did. You're the first bowler to bowl at 100 mph. Brilliant deliveries, I remember in Kolkata, I'm from Kolkata, I remember those deliveries as well as many other deliveries over the years, felling Brian Lara as well. But you might just be remembered as the king of controversy, you know? That's a possibility. Your book is also called Controversially Yours, so it's a reality.
But it is a reality. I don't want to change it. I'm not here to create more controversies, but I'm here to identify the facts, what really went wrong, and what exactly happened to the history. And I don't want to change the course of history, but I want to change course of the future, because the things what you have done wrong, you can learn from them, and to go for and to and to move forward, and to not to make this sort of mistakes again, so other people shouldn't suffer. So I identify the problems, which is based on total incident and the facts, then it happened, right? So in those kind of, in those sort of facts that I've written that book, where I've spoken the truth, and I have spoken some of the incidents, my instance, match fixing incident, ball tampering incident, I mean, the hardship of the lives and everything, and the BCB's wrongdoing and the BCCI's wrongdoing or whatever.
Absolutely.
I wanted to educate people whoever's gonna come, who's gonna run the board, if he reads that book, he might take a lead and try to perfect it.
Not just the PCB, the coaches also are people you've talked about.
Yeah.
Wasim Akram is someone you've talked about. I'll come to them in a moment. But you know, you mentioned Salman Khan in your book. I wonder if you yourself ever find any parallels between you and Salman in terms of being misunderstood, maybe?
Yeah,
Maybe,
I mean,
again, running into trouble, getting into trouble.
yeah, I mean, that is fine. I mean, we always find ourselves in trouble, and actually,
Have you spoken to Salman about this?
क्या पंजाबी का शेर है एक, वो कुछ शहर दे लोग भी जालिम सन, कुछ सानू भी मरन दा शौक सी. So there was a thing that we shouldn't have done, and at the same time people were a bit cruel at the same time.
Do you regret sometimes some of the things that
No,
happened?
things bound to happen, no? Things bound to happen, and you
No, but
actually,
you express regret sometimes. You know, when you threw the bottle at the fan in Zimbabwe, or even
yeah,
the
but
bat
I
incident
regret,
with
I
Asif.
regret my temper should be more controlled. That I regret. Throwing the bottle and hitting someone with a bat, it wasn't a
Not the right thing to do.
yeah, exactly. It wasn't, something to cherish or, something to be proud of. But I obviously learned from that, and obviously I moved forward from there to there, and then I'm able to know that the thing was done with wasn't right. No, now the thing what I like to do, or what I like to change, I am working on it and I'm doing it, and obviously, I mean, mostly people think that people call me as a bad boy or flamboyant or whatever. Trust me, people have done more damage to the country and done more wrong things than me. But they have portrayed me as a very bad guy and kept saying a lot in the media, keep promoting and fabricating the stories in the media so much. So I started looking to look bad.
Your best friend, Mr. Ashraf, and
Yeah,
various others over the
exactly.
years. But you're talking about being called the bad boy. Someone today, Mr. Ashraf's Mr. Butt, calling you madcap. Wasim
Yeah.
Akram calling you trouble, problem, and so on. And Sachin Tendulkar, after what came out in the media, and we went to him for a reaction, said it's beneath my dignity to respond to this.
Did
So
he
these
say
are,
that?
yeah, he said that.
Well,
No, I
then
wanted to come to that.
if he said that, then it also blow my dignity to respond him back. But whatever I said, it is the truth. I did not deny it. It is in
Yeah,
my book.
absolutely.
I written what I felt. And it's the truth what I felt. I written it. And if he said that, it is below my dignity to respond him back also. So at the same time, calling me a madcap. Remember the match
That's
fixing
what
thing?
Mr. Butt said.
Match fixing was handled by Mr. Jazbat
Absolutely.
in when the whole
You're
scenario
talking
was
about the more
happening.
recent match fixing incident.
Most recent match, Amers and Salman got
Absolutely.
caught, and then
Asif.
Jazbat was the man in charge who actually handled the situation by, how did he handle the situation? By blaming English players
Saying that they were
that
fixing.
they are the match fixers. I mean, this sort of
Amazing
people,
lack of sense at the top levels of the PCB for many years.
you call it nalaik. If someone of that caliber is
In
saying
that
such
position.
thing, I think he should give that name to himself rather than to me, a madcap. I mean, I've been told from the ICC meeting, and ICC people have told me, when he went there to give a briefing to the ICC about the Sri Lankan attacks and everything, the man was found sleeping. Because of his age, I mean, he's literally touching 80 or something. I mean, he limps and he has actually put a lift in the Pakistan
Don't blame
cricket
him for
board.
limping.
No, hold on. I'm talking about this. Someone can't even walk straighter. How can he going to think straighter?
But what about Akram?
Yeah.
Tell me about Akram,
You
because
see-
you've mentioned Akram a lot in the book.
Look, I called him a great.
Yes.
So-
Which he was, of course.
No.
As a cricketer.
I mean, no one has ever born. No one has ever going to come like Wasim Akram. But who was the most troubled child in a Pakistan cricket team? And who was the most unpopular man who was in the camp?
There was more than one rebellion against him.
No, more than 1,000 people were against. I wasn't the one that people did not want to play with. People had a revolt against him because of attitude. People didn't want to play with him.
What
the
was this
whole
attitude?
team. Because of attitude, he used to abuse and he has a bad attitude. Where he became a captain and then people start disliking him and people actually had a revolt against him. We're not going to play him. And I remember that day Wasim Akram having a net on his own. The whole team was walking.
you've written about
I
that.
mean, how unpopular that you can be.
Is it still like that?
I mean, people I know. Look, I respected Wasim. Wasim has taught me a lot of bowling tips, and by watching him,
Waqar as well.
And what I written about him was the
Absolutely.
first match incident, which I just told that I wanted to play. He didn't want him to play. I never said he destroyed my career.
Sure.
How can someone destroy my career? If I was playing for the last 14 years, obviously I am a sheer talented guy that who played Allah ke fazal se. I was a sheer talented guy. I played for 14 years. Somehow I did play for 14 years.
Absolutely.
Either you like it or not like it, don't like it. I had a bad knees right from the beginning. I know I can't play the 400 test matches, so I have to make it nice and quick and sweet and sharp to make it to the level where I can be a star. I can be a well-known.
Wanting to
which
be
I
a
then-
star is something you've written about a lot. When you were a kid, you went to meet people and you said, I'm going to be a rock star one day. I'm going to be a superstar
I like to be
one-"
known. I wanted to be known.
Everyone does.
But at that time, I didn't know the price that he had to pay. So if I knew that price I had to pay, I would never
But
be
I've
able to
asked
achieve
Sachin
that. But
yeah, go on.
yes, but the thing is, you have to understand this sort of caliper like Ijaz Butt is coming out of the comment. You know his caliper, and the people like even Wasim said or whatever said. I mean, these were the people been fined in the courts. I never in my whole life been called a match fixer.
Absolutely.
And even someone named even Surface as a match fixer, even Surface, I was still gonna hate him. Because why wouldn't my name came into the market, or someone said that he wanted to fix the game, or he is a match fixer? I was never ever, tried to even go that way where people
Despite offers.
despite of thousands of offers. I mean, I was down, but I'm still telling you I don't have money, to even survive. I don't care. But the thing is money is not the factor for me. People might be thinking that I said something to sell the book or something. It is nothing about that. It is about the fact that I written. It is the experience that I had. It is the feeling that I had at that time. It is the continuation of my feeling in that period of
It's
time.
what
that
you
I
saw
said,
and felt at the time.
yes, it was experience that I'm telling you. I'm entitled to own my choices and my feelings to tell you. I mean, you want to make a comment after that, but do not judge me. Don't judge me because that you have played more cricket or that you have gotten so more wicket or gotten more runs that you know better than anyone else. But you have to remember your past and your time, that you've been convicted as a match fixer. You have been charged. You have been revolted against. I mean, I was literally holding my head like this when my chairman statement, it was stupid of statements, came out when we were playing the match. Match was starting in the Lords, and the statement came out from Ijaz but saying, if our players are the match fixers, so is the English players are the match fixer. So Jai Clark was literally holding his head. He wanted to bang his head to the wall. Why would I help this man, which he doesn't even know what he's talking about?
Shoaib, on the one hand, we know that the current government, whatever the government is, has a lot of say in who's appointed in the PCB, the
Yeah.
president, some good,
Yeah.
some bad, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've also mentioned taking help from politicians when things have gone wrong for you. When you were dropped, you want Naseem Ashraf, you used your connections in the political. Why, I'm not saying this is good and that is bad, but why is there so much politics or political intervention in Pakistan
Pattern of
cricket?
chief of our cricket is a president.
Yeah.
Is appointed by the president. So whoever been appointed by the president, he has his what do you call
Favorites and
उसका उसके वो जी हजूरी उसके पास
जी
है.
हजूरी हो जाता है.
ठीक है. President is a straight connection that he has with the president, and he's a blue-eyed boy, whoever it is.
Yeah.
He's
But Shoaib, what's sad is that Pakistan is probably the country with the most talent.
most talent.
But Pakistan
With no
cricket is
organisation.
becoming a bit of a joke. I'm
No,
sorry for saying
no,
this.
no, no.
But it's become a bit
become
of a joke today.
Why? Become a joke. Why? Because become a joke with people like the Jazzbert that we had, and people like our senior former cricketers. It comes out with a statement. Comes out with a statement about their own people and your own media. For the few people in our own media, very few people in my Pakistani media, very few people who actually thinks they are bigger star than the cricketers. But one chairman goes to me, you should come and give me a neck practice.
You've written about that.
Yes, give me a neck practice at home. So I said, sir, please, I served my country for 10 years. What are you asking me to do? Are you out of your bloody mind? So what are you asking me to do? I mean, he said, you have to, I said, sir, okay, whatever. Okay, I just escaped from that situation, but I could not escape but the thousand other situations.
Obviously.
And then things started to go bad. And people are calling me bad by not understanding. Read the book.
Yeah.
I have put each and single event to make you understand why they banned me for 5 years. I was so indisciplined, but what did I do to be indisciplined? Well, what exactly did I do to be indisciplined? Just because I don't go and bowl in the nets for the chairman's home, I don't go and give, I say no to chairman PCB that you're not my agent, I'm going to go through on my own agent.
For IPL.
And then he comes back, and when I say you make a wrong pitches, this is killing the fast bowlers, and they say you're indisciplined.
Shoaib, I can go on talking for you for the next 5-6 hours, but you're not going to give me that kind of time. So let me just quickly run through some of the important things that I do want to talk about. Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah, Yes.
When players, even if they're from their enemies on the field, if they play together for 10, 15, 20 years, they become friends. I just want to know about your equation with Sachin because for the last 2 days, a lot has happened. Whether rightly or wrongly, lots has happened. And Sachin has said something now. You have retaliated on this interview as well.
Yeah.
Do you, why is... Why?
Look, first of all, can I make a request to the Indian public? Don't buy my book. Just read it through. At least borrow the book and read it through. It is not me who want to sell the book. It's the facts that I'm telling you. For the very last time, I'm making you understand through your media what I was written. You have written this?
Yes.
So what I written was, for the last time on the record, I'm telling you,
Yes.
Sachin Tendulkar had a tennis elbow
Yes.
problem, which he having a difficulties to pull me. We identified that problem, that he will be, he'll be not going to be comfortable playing me, and let's target his head. Let's target his head. Let's scare him off.
Simple strategy.
It's very simple strategy. Let's scare him off. Bowl as many bounces as he can. How many is going to duck? One is going to hit. It eventually got hit in Karachi.
Yes.
Okay, that was strategy. And my feeling on that particular day, I thought Sachin was scared. That is my feeling.
Absolutely.
I don't know what he was feeling, but I could see the scare in his eyes. I thought he was scared, and he was uncomfortable. Let's put it this way. He was uncomfortable. He didn't want to face me. When the ball hit him on the ribs, I thought it hit him on the ribs, and he walked off because he didn't want to be there. That was then and there feeling right? My feeling was then and there. Okay. Did I say he was a coward?
No, you haven't.
Did I say he's buzdil? मैंने कभी कहा वो great नहीं है.
No, no. You haven't
मैंने
said that
कभी
he's probably the best,
कहा,
yeah.
मैंने कभी कहा, मैंने बुक में यही कहा ना कि भाई उन that particular day, I think he was scared. उसके बाद मैंने बुक में कहीं कहा वो कावर्ड है, बुजदिल है, उससे फास्ट बॉलिंग नहीं खेली जाती, वो अच्छा प्लेयर नहीं है, 18 रन बनाए. हाँ, दूसरा मैंने कभी इस बुक में इसमें तो मैंने कभी ये कहा ही नहीं. I respected him, I greeted him so well, and the last few pages we read it, I admired it so much because of what he has done with the cricket. But I'm also so angry with the people sitting on the media and senior cricketers they just only work for the paychecks from the TV, for small amount. I know what the amount they get sitting on the Star News or some kind of awkward channels, but that's where I just felt really disappointed with the senior cricketers. I was watching a few the clip last night without even reading my book.
Absolutely.
Without even putting the effort to know what I've written or start commenting on that. They're calling me names, they're calling me chuckers, and showing their hatred towards me.
Cheat, and so on.
Chucker, cheated, hatred. That's fine. Secondly, when I said about Dravid and Sachin, yes, I admitted they were not a match winner. I say that openly, they weren't a match winner. But you have to understand, when I played against them, Sachin had a century in Chennai, lost the game. Sachin had a century in Rawalpindi, India lost the game. Sachin made a runs, India lost the game most of the time. I am talking about my experience when I played against Sachin and Rahul Dravid. They are not the match winner when I played against them. But that does not mean if they did not win the game against me, they are not the match winners. They are the match winners when they didn't play against me.
Sure.
भाई उस वक्त रन्स नहीं बना सके,
उस
वक्त रन्स नहीं बना सके, उस मैच मुझसे, वो मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है, वो पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस बता रहा हूँ अपना. That particular time, this Rahul did not win a single game in front of me. That was my experience and that was my perception. But that does not mean that Rahul Dravid is not a good player. That does not mean Rahul Dravid did not win a game elsewhere.
Sure.
That does not mean Sachin did not win a game elsewhere. That does not mean Sachin is not great. That was the point, and try to understand. For the last time, I'm saying that I'm sick of giving clarification. And then you want to talk about, हमारे भगवान को तुमने बुरा कह दिया. Guys, for God's sake, if you, आपका भगवान है, आप पूजा करो. भाई वो मेरा भगवान तो नहीं है ना. मेरे तो अपने favorites हैं ना. My favorites are Brian Lara. My favorites are Bricky Ponting. I like
Justin
Justin
Langer,
Langer.
yeah.
I love Inzamam.
Viv Richards.
I like Wasim Akram, Viv Richard. It's my favorite. But you can't put a gun point on my head and
Sachin has to be your
pressurize
god.
me. She pressurized me to like him because he had got so many runs. Now listen on this point. You see, it's very important to understand. You know, that is fine. I respect as a cricketer and as an audience at the same time from Pakistan. I respect the Indian has so much love. I don't want to take it away. But at the same time, you cannot pressurize me.
I get
What
it.
you like, that I have to like it.
I get it.
You see, but at the same time, I greeted him so well. In the book, I've written so much good about him. But what I said is this. What I meant is this. What I felt is this. That does not mean that he's a coward, वो बुज़दिल है, वो डरता है या मुझसे डरता है. मैंने तो कभी कहा ही नहीं. मैंने तो ये कहा भाई is uncomfortable at that day. और उस दिन में तो मैंने विविन रिचर्ड से बड़ा बैट्समैन दुनिया में कोई नहीं आया. I mean, might not he has not scored as many runs as Sachin, but लेकिन वो प्लेयर था क्योंकि हर मैच जीतता था.
Shoaib, running out of time, quick last couple of questions to you. One, you've written whatever you've wanted to about everyone, Sachin, Pakistani cricketers, the board. Tomorrow, there's a chance you might not have too many friends in Pakistan.
Well,
Pakistan
I don't
cricket,
care.
you don't care.
I never had friends anyways. You know, but the kind of a lifestyle I lead, because I used to part ways from that gang. The gang was always involved in match
Coteries.
fixing. No, there was a match fixing gang.
Match fixing gang.
I parted ways. And in that period of time, when I including myself in the team, I had literally no respect for the people who was actually named in the match fixing.
Absolutely.
For me, even you name surfers in the media as a match fixer, that we have a doubt, even about the Shoaib Malik. I lost respect. I'm seriously lost. But why
Seriously, you
hasn't
don't
my
care.
name surfaced as a match fixer?
But you don't care about reactions from friends and
I
colleagues.
don't care what reaction is there or what they wanted to say. Or I didn't care when I played with them or when I didn't care. I mean, I used to play cricket then.
Yes.
I never had I never even scared, and then I'm not playing cricket anymore, so I'm not even braver than ever before.
Last question, advice for Indian bowlers. Two reasons why I'm asking you this. Injuries is something you've dealt with a lot over the years, maybe more than anyone else. One. Two is pace is something you've dealt with a lot. I mean, you're the fastest ever. Why do Indian bowlers, fast bowlers, lose their pace so early in their careers? One. And two, why do they just break down so often?
You see, I think the attitude is not there. You see, when I used to run in, no matter what people say about me, you know, call me chakar, or call me this, or call me that, but I used to put my fears into people's heart. And I had an attitude. I was limping, either I had a back pain, or I had broken knees. But people actually knew, sitting in the crowd or watching on the TV, people knew if this man runs in, we have a chance, he might do something, right? And people exactly knew that I was honest fast bowler, who was going to give it all. He's going to sweat
That's
out.
missing in young Indian bowlers?
So attitude is not there. Secondly, where is the academy for 50 fast bowlers? For next 5 years, let's take a road trip. Let's get the character who can inject the attitude in them. Tell them to how to be a respectful man, but a very furious fast bowler.
Shoaib, now that you're coming to India so often, and maybe not too much of a future in Pakistan cricket on the onside, maybe you could be that person who does those road shows in India for the moment, Shoaib. Thank you ever so much. One of the greatest characters in modern cricket.
Thanks.
Are you the Salman Khan of Pakistan cricket, or is he the Shoaib Akhtar of Bollywood?
Salman एक ही और Shoaib भी एक ही है.
Thank you so much.
If he said that, then it also blow my dignity to respond him back. And my feeling on that particular day, I thought Sachin was scared. I never in my whole life been called a match fixer. Don't judge me because that you have played more cricket